We've all been there, right? That constant password juggling act, trying to remember impossible combinations, clicking, forgot password, like way too often.
Oh, yeah. It's a real headache.
And you worry about the next big data breach, too.
Yeah.
Even if you use a password manager, it still feels like a chore sometimes.
Definitely.
But what if all that frustration could just vanish? That's really the promise of Passkeys. It feels like a genuinely revolutionary step towards being password-free.
It really is. Super secure, super fast logins.
And it's not science fiction either. I mean, you've got the big players, Apple, Microsoft, Google, working with the FIDO Alliance. They've all teamed up to make this happen for all of us.
Exactly. It's becoming mainstream.
So the big question for our deep dives today is, once you actually create a passkey, where does it live? Like, where is it stored? And more importantly, how do you pick the right place, the best home for these new digital keys? You want it to be easy, obviously, but also really secure.
That's the core issue we're tackling.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we dig into the sources, the research, our notes, and pull out the insights that really matter for you.
Helping you get informed fast.
So today, we're peeling back the layers on passkeys, specifically where they get stored, how that works, and what it means for your day-to-day online security and convenience.
We want you to leave understanding your options clearly.
Right, because there are choices to make.
There are, and fundamentally, it boils down to two main ways to store your passkeys. You've got the options built right into your devices, the native stuff like Apple's iCloud Keychain or Google's Password Manager.
Okay.
And then you have the third-party password managers, which offer a bit more, maybe, flexibility. We'll break down which might suit you best, whether you're just managing your own stuff or maybe a whole family's accounts, or even if you're part of a team at work.
Sounds good. And just a quick mention, this deep dive comes to you from EasyDigitalSafety. We're all about clear, practical security tips, minus the confusing jargon.
Understanding your passkey homes, native versus third-party.
Okay, so passkeys, we hear the term a lot. But what is it about them technically that's so different from passwords, especially when we talk about where they live?
Good question to start with. Basically, a passkey isn't a password you remember. It's a pair of cryptographic keys. Think of it like a digital key pair.
Okay, a key pair.
Yeah. One is the private key. This one stays securely locked down on your device, your phone, your computer. It's protected by, like, your fingerprint, face scan, or even just your device PIN.
And it never leaves the device.
Never. That's crucial. The other key is the public key. That one gets stored on the website or app server. When you log in, your device proves it has the private key without ever revealing it.
Ah, okay. So no shared secret like a password.
Exactly. That's why they're so good against phishing and guessing attacks. There's no password database to steal, no password to trick you into giving away.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first home, then, these native options. You mentioned iCloud Keychain, Google Password Manager, Windows Toe.
Right. These are the ones integrated directly into the operating system, like iOS, Android, Windows, or even sometimes the browser itself, like Chrome or Safari.
What are the big upsides of using those?
Well, the user experience is usually incredibly smooth. It just works because it's part of the system you're already using. Feels very seamless, very native.
And they're free, right?
Typically, yes. That's a big draw for a lot of people. And the convenience within an ecosystem is fantastic. Create a passkey on your iPhone.
And it just shows up on your Mac and iPad?
Instantly, yeah. If they're all linked to your Apple ID and iCloud Keychain is on. Same idea with Google Password Manager across your Android devices or Chrome logins. Super easy sync.
Okay, that sounds almost too easy. Are there, like, any downsides, any catches to that tight integration? What if, say, I lose my phone? Or what if I use an iPhone but also a Windows PC?
Right, you've hit the nail on the head. The main trade-off is what people call ecosystem lock-in.
Lock-in.
Meaning it's hard to move those passkeys between different ecosystems.
Yeah.
You generally can't just, export your iCloud Keychain passkeys and import them into Google Password Manager.
So if I switch from Android to iPhone, I have to.
You'd likely have to go back to each website or app and create a new passkey using the new system, then probably delete the old one. It's a recreation process, not a simple transfer.
Okay, that's important to know. What about losing devices?
That's the other potential issue. If you lose all your devices within a single ecosystem, say, you lose your only iPhone, and iPad recovery can be tricky unless you've set up backup methods beforehand.
Like recovery codes or something.
Exactly, or having things synced to their encrypted cloud backups, which Apple and Google do offer. These systems use secure hardware on the device, like the Secure Enclave on Apple devices or a TPM chip on Windows PCs. Super secure, but recovery is tied to that ecosystem's procedures.
So native is great if you live entirely in one world, all Apple, all Google, maybe all Windows.
Pretty much, yeah.
But lots of us don't, right? We mix and match. iPhone, Windows laptop, maybe an Android tablet. Is there a solution for that kind of digital life?
There absolutely is, and that's where the second option comes in, third-party password managers.
Like 1Password, Dashlane, Bitwarden, those guys.
Exactly. These are standalone apps or services. Their whole job is to be a secure vault for all your login stuff, passwords, secure notes, and now, increasingly, passkeys too.
And the big advantage here, I'm guessing, is they work everywhere.
That's the main draw. Cross-platform flexibility. They usually have apps for iOS, Android, Windows, macOS, Linux, browser extensions, you name it. They bridge those ecosystem gaps.
So my passkey, created via Dashlane, say, would work on my iPhone and my Windows PC.
Correct. You install the app or extension everywhere, log into your vault, and your passkeys and passwords are available across all your devices, regardless of the manufacturer.
That sounds really powerful. What else do they offer?
Well, beyond just storage, many have more advanced features than the native options. Things like secure sharing of credentials, really useful for families or teams.
Oh, like sharing the Netflix login without just texting the password?
Exactly. Or sharing Wi-Fi passwords securely. They might also offer secure file storage, more sophisticated autofill options, maybe even dark web monitoring to check if your details pop up in breaches. You're not tied to what Apple or Google decides to offer.
More control, more features. Sounds great.
Yep.
But what's the catch? I'm sensing a but.
Well, the most obvious one is cost. Unlike the free native options, these premium password managers usually require a subscription.
Right. You pay for the extra features and flexibility.
You do. And there's also a small setup step. You have to actually install the app or browser extension on all your devices and get it configured. It's not pre-installed like iCloud, Keychain, or Windows Hello, minor, but it's an extra step.
Who uses which storage?
Yeah.
Real-world scenarios.
Okay, this is clearer now. Native versus third party. So if you're listening, how do you figure out which path is right for you? Let's maybe walk through a few examples.
Good idea. Let's call him Alex.
Yeah.
Alex has an iPhone he loves, uses iCloud Keychain for everything personal, but his work computer is a Windows PC.
Okay, common scenario. What does Alex do for passkeys?
Alex has a few choices. He could keep things separate, use iCloud Keychain on his Apple stuff, and then use Windows Hello for passkeys related to his PC or work accounts access there.
So 2 separate homes for his passkey?
Yeah. Or if he wants everything in one place, he could decide to use a third-party manager like 1Password or Dashlane across both his iPhone and Windows PC. That gives him one central vault.
Makes sense. What about that QR code thing you mentioned with Windows?
Right. That's another interesting option. Windows actually lets you use a passkey stored on your nearby iPhone or Android to sign into things on your PC. You just scan a QR code that pops up on the Windows screen using your phone.
Oh, cool. So that sort of bridges the gap without needing a third-party manager sometimes.
It can, yes. It allows you to use your phone as the authenticator for your computer in some situations.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece of cross-platform cooperation.
Okay, what about a family? Say, the Smiths. Mom has an iPhone, Dad has an Android phone, the kids have maybe a mix of tablets, and there's a shared Windows laptop.
Yeah, that's where native options get messy, right? Everyone's in a different ecosystem.
Exactly.
For a family like the Smiths, standardizing on a single shared third-party password manager is often the simplest solution.
Why is that?
Because it makes sharing so much easier. Think about shared accounts, streaming services, online shopping, maybe household bills. A good password manager lets them create a shared vault or securely share specific logins with family members.
Ah, so everyone can access the shared stuff easily, regardless of their device.
Precisely. And it
Yeah.
provides central management. Mom or dad could maybe manage the main account. It just simplifies things hugely in a mixed device environment.
Okay, that makes total sense for families. What about bigger groups, like businesses or teams at work? Is it different again?
It is, yeah. For teams and especially larger enterprises, the picture changes quite a bit. They often use dedicated enterprise-grade identity management solutions.
Like what?
Things like Microsoft Entra ID, which used to be Azure AD or Okta or maybe Cisco Duo. For users in those organizations, their work-related passkeys will likely live inside these managed systems.
So keeping work and personal stuff separate.
Definitely. It's crucial for security and management in a business context. And we're seeing big pushes here too. Microsoft, for example, is planning to make Passkeys the default login for new Microsoft accounts starting in 2025.
Wow, for everything, like Office 365, Outlook.
Yep, Microsoft 365, Outlook, OneDrive, even Xbox Live and Windows 11 sign-ins eventually. It's a major shift.
But are there challenges for businesses?
Oh, for sure. Some solutions, like maybe the Microsoft Authenticator app for certain passkey types, still rely heavily on the user having their smartphone handy. That can be tricky for some employees, like factory workers or people in roles where phones aren't allowed or practical on the job floor. So businesses need to consider those scenarios.
Planning your passkey migration, a step-by-step guide.
This is great context. So for listeners who are thinking, okay, I'm ready to try this, what's a sensible way to start moving towards passkeys? How do you actually migrate without getting, overwhelmed?
Yeah, you don't have to switch everything overnight. We usually recommend what we call a hybrid approach. Start simple, test the waters, and then move your more important accounts over once you feel comfortable.
Okay, hybrid approach. What's step one?
Step one is to choose your primary home. Decide up front, are you leaning towards the native OS browser storage, like iCloud Keychain or Google Password Manager, or a third-party manager? Pick one as your main go-to.
Got it. Choose your main storage. Then what?
Then, start small, test big. Don't try to convert your bank account first. Pick just 2 or 3 low-risk accounts to start with.
Like social media?
Exactly. Social media apps are often good candidates. WhatsApp, Facebook, maybe X, TikTok. Many already support passkeys, and if something goes wrong during setup, it's usually not catastrophic. It lets you get a feel for the process.
Smart. Okay, convert a couple easy ones. What's next?
Step 3.
Yeah.
Activate sync or install everywhere. If you chose a native system, make sure the cloud sync feature is turned on iCloud Keychain Sync, Google Password Manager Sync. If you picked a third-party manager, install the app or extension on all the devices you regularly use.
Right. Make sure it's actually available where you need it.
Critical step. Okay, step 4, and this is maybe overlooked but important for peace of mind. Document your passkeys.
Document them. Like write them down.
Yeah.
Isn't that insecure?
Not necessarily write down the key itself, you can't, but just keep a simple, secure note of where each passkey is stored, especially if you end up using that hybrid approach, maybe some in iCloud, some in 1Password. Just knowing my bank passkey is in 1Password or my Twitter passkey is in Google can save confusion later.
Ah, okay. A simple inventory.
Exactly. Think of it like a mini recovery map. Now, step 5 is closely related. Add a recovery method. This is absolutely vital.
How did you do that?
Set up a second trusted device if your platform supports it. Or many services that offer passkeys also offer backup recovery codes, generate those and store them somewhere extremely safe, offline preferably.
Why is this so crucial?
Because if you lose all your devices linked to your passkeys and you haven't set up a recovery method,
Right.
well, you could genuinely get locked out of your accounts. It can be very hard to regain access otherwise.
Yikes. Okay, recovery method essential. What's step 6?
Review periodically, maybe once or twice a year. Just glance through your list of connected devices in your Apple or Google account or in your password manager. Remove any old devices you don't use anymore. Tidy things up. Consolidate passkeys if needed.
Good digital hygiene.
Pretty much. And then finally, step 7. Once you're feeling confident with the whole process, migrate her critical accounts.
Now we get to the important stuff.
Right. This is when you move over your online banking, your main email account, maybe cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase or Binance if you use them. Move the high-value targets to the security of passkeys. It's great seeing banks like Revolut and Abanza starting to roll this out too.
Passkey myths versus facts.
Okay, that's a clear plan. But with any new tech, especially security tech, myths pop up. Let's bust a few common ones about passkeys and where they're stored.
Happy to. Let's start with myth number 1. Third-party password managers are just less secure for storing passkeys than the built-in Apple or Google options.
Okay, is that true?
Fact. No, not inherently. Both native solutions and reputable third-party managers rely on really strong security foundations. We mentioned those hardware security chips like secure enclaves or TPMs. Both types of storage can leverage that underlying hardware security.
So it's not about the storage type itself being weak.
Not really. The best security system is the one you actually use correctly and consistently. A well-managed third-party vault can be just as secure, sometimes even offering more transparency or features around security practices. It comes down to the implementation and how well you manage your overall security.
Good point. Okay, what's another myth?
Myth number 2.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot move a passkey from one platform to another Once it's in iCloud, it's stuck there forever.
We kind of touched on this, but let's clarify.
Fact. While you typically can't directly export a passkey file from, say, iCloud and import it into Bitwarden, that's not really the point. For almost any service that supports passkeys, you can simply go into your account settings on that service's website.
And just create a new passkey using your preferred manager or system?
Exactly. You create a new passkey saved to your chosen home, your third-party manager, or your new phone's native system, and then you just delete the old passkey from the service.
So it's about recreating it, not transferring the original file.
Precisely. The end result is the same. Your access is now managed by the passkey in the place you want it. So they're not stuck in that sense.
Okay, that makes sense. One more.
Sure. Myth number 3. Sharing passkeys with family or colleagues is totally impossible.
Is it? We talked about family sharing with managers.
Fact. Well, native systems are primarily designed for individual use, although Apple does offer some limited sharing through things like AirDrop or iCloud shared groups. It's not their main focus. But many advanced third-party password managers absolutely do have robust, secure sharing features built in.
Designed specifically for sharing logins.
Yes. Designed for families sharing household accounts or teams sharing work credentials. So if sharing is important to you, don't assume it's impossible. Just check the features of the specific password manager you're considering. Some are much better at this than others. 4. Mini Q&A.
All right, let's tackle a few quick questions we often hear when people start exploring passkeys and storage. Ready for a rapid-fire round?
Let's do it.
Question: what do I do about websites or apps that only take passwords? You know, the ones that haven't caught up yet.
Answer: yeah, that's still common. For those, you stick with the basics. Use a strong, unique password, preferably generated by your password manager, and definitely enable two-factor authentication, 2FA if they offer it.
So passwords aren't dead yet?
Not completely. They still provide that universal compatibility. And many services that add passkeys keep passwords as a fallback anyway. Just make a note to check back on those sites periodically to see if they've added passkey support later.
Okay. Next question. Can I mix and match, like use iCloud Keychain for some things and maybe one password for my really critical accounts?
Answer: absolutely yes. That's the hybrid approach we talked about earlier. It's perfectly fine. The only caveat is, again, just try to keep a simple record of which passkey lives where, just to avoid confusing yourself later.
Like that inventory idea.
Exactly. And remember that QR code feature in Windows. That's another example of how mixing can work using your iPhone passkey native to log into your Windows PC.
Yeah.
Different ecosystem. The systems are becoming more interoperable.
Good point. Last quick question. What if I'm using passkeys for work in an enterprise setting?
Answer. Simple answer here. Always, always follow the specific guidance from your company's IT department.
Don't just go setting things up yourself?
Probably not.
No.
Enterprise environments have different requirements, maybe specific compliance rules like GDPR or PSD2, legacy systems to integrate with, and they definitely need proper user training rollout. Your IT team knows the setup and the rules for your workplace. Stick to their recommendations. The action checklist.
Okay, this has been super helpful. Before we wrap up, let's give everyone a quick, actionable checklist, things you can do, maybe even this week, to start getting your passkey strategy sorted.
Sound good.
Number 1, choose your primary home. Decide native all-browser storage or a third-party password manager. Make that initial choice.
2, convert 2-3 low-risk accounts. Pick a couple of easy ones like social media and try creating passkeys for them this week just to get the feel.
3, activate sync or install everywhere. Make sure iCloud Google Sync is on or install your chosen manager on all your main devices.
4, note down where each passkey is stored. Just a simple list, especially if you're mixing storage types. Keep it secure.
5, add a second device or recovery method for your most critical accounts. Don't skip this. Generate those backup codes.
6, clean up your connected devices list periodically. Remove old phones or computers you no longer use from your accounts.
And 7, plan a quarterly review. Just a quick check-in every few months to see if you need to consolidate passkeys, update anything, or move more accounts over. 6, teaser for next episodes. That really covers the landscape of passkey storage. So what's next in the Easy Digital Safety Passkeys series?
Well, next up is episode 7, where we get hands-on. We'll look at popular services and actually walk through setting up passkeys on some high-demand sites.
Oh, practical walkthroughs. Nice.
Yeah. And then in episode 8, we tackle a really important topic: recovery and multi-device life. How to minimize the risk of getting locked out, how to plan for replacing devices, and generally stay confident using passkeys across your digital life. 7, outro.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some clarity on how to manage your passkeys, where they live, and maybe a clear path forward to boost your online security.
Yeah, moving towards passkeys, it really is a significant step. It promises to make things simpler, definitely safer, and just less frustrating day to day, especially seeing big players like Microsoft pushing it as the default.
So we definitely encourage you to start exploring passkeys on your own devices, the services you use. Think about what stood out to you from our chat today and how you might start applying it.
Even just starting small makes a difference.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening to Easy Digital Safety. Please subscribe if you want more clear, practical security tips like this.
And check the show notes. We'll have links maybe to step-by-step guides, plus the sources we drew on for this deep dive.
Right. That includes research and insights from groups like the FIDO Alliance, obviously Apple, Google, Microsoft, but also password manager companies like Dashlane, 1Password, Bitwarden, and security experts like Corbedo and Holocene. Lots of good info out there.